morning and a very happy 74th Independence Day to the entire fellow Indian family present here. This is a wonderful occasion, and when I got the opportunity to speak on this wonderful occasion, I went on Google to search for material on my speech. Google was full of development of India, freedom fighters, Indian leaders, Indian soldiers, etc. Then suddenly, I came across a speech by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. And after I read his speech, I was shocked. In his speech, Dr. Kalam has asked quite a few questions I could not find answers to. Please try to find the answers to these questions and let me know when you do. Dr. Kalam said, "Why is the media here so negative? Why are we in India so embarrassed to recognize our own strengths, our own achievements? We are such a great nation with so many success stories, but we refuse to acknowledge them. Why? We are the first in milk production. We are number one in remote sensing satellite. We are the second largest producer of wheat. We are the second largest producer of rice. Look at Dr. Sudarshan. He has completely transformed the tribal village into a self-sustaining, a self-driving unit. There are millions of such achievements, but our media is only obsessed with bad news and disasters and failures." I was in Tel Aviv once and I was reading an Israeli newspaper. It was the day after a lot of attacks and bombardments and deaths had taken place there. The Hamas had struck, but the front page was covered with the picture of a Jewish gentleman who, in the span of 5 years, had transformed his barren land into an orchard and a granary. It was this inspiring picture that the people woke up to. The gory details of the bombardments, the death, the disaster, and the killings were inside the newspaper, buried among other news. In India, we only read about the death, sickness, terrorism, crime. Why are we so negative? Another question. Why are we as a nation so obsessed with foreign things? We want foreign TVs, we want foreign shirts, we want foreign technology. Why this obsession with everything imported? Do we not realize that self-respect comes with self-reliance? I was in Hyderabad once giving a lecture when a 14-year-old girl approached me and asked me for my autograph. I asked her what her goal in life was, and she said, "I want to live in a developed India." For her and for millions like her, you and I have to create that developed India. You must proclaim India is not an underdeveloped nation, it is a highly developed nation. Do you have 10 minutes? Allow me to come back with a vengeance. Got 10 minutes for your country? If yes, then listen on. Otherwise, the choice is yours. You say that the government is inefficient. You say that our laws are too old. You say that the municipality does not pick up the trash. You say that the phones don't work. The railways are a joke. The airlines are the worst in the world. The mails never reach their destination. You say that our country has been fed to the dogs and it is in absolute pits. You say and say and say. What do you do about it? Take a person on his way to Singapore, give him a voice, yours. Give him a name, yours. Give him a face, yours. In Singapore, you don't throw cigarette butts on the road or eat in the stores. You're as proud of their underground links as they are. You come back to the parking lot to punch your parking ticket if you have overstayed in a hotel or a plaza or a shopping mall, irrespective of your status or your identity. In Singapore, you don't say anything, do you? You wouldn't dare to eat in the public in Dubai during the month of Ramadan. You would not dare to go without your head covered in Jeddah. You would not dare to buy an employee of the telephone exchange in London for 650 rupees a month to see to it that my STD and my IST calls are billed to someone else. You would not dare to speed beyond 88 km/h in Washington DC and then tell the traffic cop, "Do you know who my father is? Take these $2 and get lost." You wouldn't chuck an empty coconut shell anywhere other than the garbage pail on the beaches of Australia and New Zealand. Why don't you spit palm on the streets of Tokyo? Why don't examination jockeys or buy fake certificates in Boston, we are still talking about the same you. You who can respect and conform to a foreign nation in other country but cannot in your own. You who would throw papers and cigarettes on the road the moment you touch Indian soil. If you can be an involved and an appreciative citizen in another country, why cannot you be the same in India? Once in an interview, the famous ex-municipal commissioner of Bombay, Mr. Pinaikar, had a point to make. Rich people's dogs are walked on the street to leave their affluent droppings all over the place, he said. And then the same people turn around to criticize and blame the authorities for inefficiency and dirty pavements. What do they expect the officials to do? Go down with a broom every time their dogs feel the pressure in their bowels? In America, every dog owner has to clean up after their pet has done their job. Same in Japan. Will the Indian citizen do that here? He's right. We go to the polls to choose a government and after that, forfeit all responsibility. We sit back wanting to be pampered and expect the government to do everything for us while our contribution to the country is negative. We expect the government to clean the garbage, but we are not going to stop chucking garbage all over the place. Nor are we going to stop to pick up a stray piece of paper and throw it in the bin. We expect railways to provide us with clean bathrooms, but we will never learn the proper use of bathrooms. When it comes to burning social issues like those related to women, dowry, girl child, domestic abuse, transgender rights, we make loud drawing room protestations and continue to do the exact reverse at home. Our excuse? It's the whole system which has to change. How will it matter if I alone forego my son's right to a dowry? So who's going to change the system? Huh? What does the system even consist of? Very conveniently for us, it consists of our neighbors, other households, other cities, other communities, other people and the government, but definitely not me and definitely not you. When it comes to us actually making a positive contribution towards the system, we lock ourselves along with our families into a safe cocoon and look into a distance, countries far away, and wait for a Mr. Clean to come along, work miracles for us with a majestic sweep of his hand, or we run to the other countries like lazy cowards hounded by our fears. We run to America to bask in their glory and praise their system. When New York becomes insecure, we run to England. When England experiences unemployment, we take the next flight out to the Gulf. When the Gulf is war-struck, we demand to be rescued and brought home by whom? By the Indian government. Everybody is out to abuse and rape the country. Nobody thinks about feeding the system. Everybody wants to feed from the system, and that's where the problem lies. Silence followed after I read his speech the first time. It still does. And after I read his speech over and over and over again, I realized that it is all true. Now it would be rather hypocritical of me to say that I have never wronged my country. I am guilty. The person listening to this speech on the other end is guilty. All us Indians are guilty. It's already been 73 years since our independence. And now, more than ever, I think it's high time we ask this question to ourselves. What can I do for my country? Rather than asking, what has my country ever done for me? Don't ask this question for the freedom fighters who died giving you free breath. Don't even ask this question to yourself for the Indian soldiers who fight for you and die every day, nameless, fighting foreign powers as well as fake Indian people who live in India as Indian citizens but cannot respect it. Don't even ask yourself this question for the medical staff or the police who are working day and night, spending months away from their families, dying in the process of saving you, only to be pelted with stones when they come to test you for COVID. Don't ask this question for your family, your community, your friends, your country, or anyone. Ask this question to yourself for the feeling which you feel every time India wins a cricket match. Ask this question for the feeling which you must have experienced when India became the first country to reach Mars in the first attempt. Ask this question for that one tiny feeling which makes you proud to be an Indian. Start asking this question to yourself starting today. Thank you.